Dear students, hope you are all well. Today we will begin with the chapter in EVS part 2, that is history. The name of the chapter is What is History? Now, in the last year, that was in standard 4th, we studied about the life of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. Now, as you all know, your whole textbook was related to Shivaji Maharaj and his mission of establishing Swaraj. That means, what was his mission? That he had his own rule. The first picture is of your textbook that we learned about the Shivaji Maharaj, and the second picture is related to the way he used to rule his own Swaraj. Let's move to the next slide. History, a science that tells us about the events in the past. That means the things which have already passed away or has been taken place. So, the time before the birth of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj was 400 years ago, or we can say 400 years before now. Let's move next. Now, what is this picture about? Any guesses? Yes, right. It's a clock. Now, what do clock helps us and what clock helps us in indicating time, right? It shows you time. Let's move further. Now, for our convenience, we divide time in different ways, that is past, present and future. Past means that the time that has already gone. For example, some time ago, yesterday, last year. Now, last year you were in standard 4th, right? So that's a past. Present means the time that we are in at present. For example, now, today, this year. This year means at present you are in 5th standard, and at present now you are learning history, the first chapter, right? Next is future. Future means that is yet to come, which is not come, that is yet to come. For example, after some time, tomorrow, next year. Next year means you will be in standard 6. So that's a future. Let's move forward. Now you can understand more clearly with the help of this picture. We will start with the present. That is the second picture we will start. We are 10 years old today, right? Means today your age is 10 years. Now but in the past, that is the first picture, the day of your birth, you were 10 years ago means 10 years ago you were born. And in future, that is the third picture. We will be 20 years old. After 10 years means you are going to be 20 years old after 10 years. Let's move to the next slide. Let's see the next. That's the scientific method of history. What this helps us in a number of different tests to determine whether the evidence is reliable. This means different tests are done. Tests are done many a times to get the result, right? Any test has to be done to get a result. For example, if you need to do a test of yourself, a blood test, right? When you do the blood test, what you will get after that? You will get a report. That is your result. Now, the second is history is regarded as a scientific discipline because it uses scientific method while look at the first point, looking for and collecting evidence. Collecting evidence, the word evidence means proof. Examining the evidence means studying about the evidence, and putting together evidence means putting together all the proof. The third scientific method is when required, help is taken from other science. Now students, other science means we can say geography, biology, physics, chemistry, mathematics. Means it is required we can take help from all these sciences. Now, the fourth scientific method is history is not written solely on the basis of imagination. Means not only on imagination, history cannot be written only on imagination. As you have studied history in 4th standard about Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, right? The story which you studied in it is not only imagination. Is it only about imagination? No, it is. They are happened in the past. There are things which are happened in the past, and evidence. Evidence means evidence are proved with the help of forts. What did Shivaji Maharaj used to do? He used to capture forts in Maharashtra. Let's move forward. Now, the next is the sources of history are as follows. We are going to learn about 3 sources of history. They are material sources, written sources, and the oral sources. Let's move forward. Now, you will see The first one, that is the material sources. Means the study of things or objects, only the study of things and object. For example, ancient objects. Now ancient objects means objects or things from the earlier time. From the earlier time means from the ancient times. For example, structures means, for example, Gateway of India, Shivneri Fort, Pratapgarh Fort, right? All these are structures, and all these are known as structures. The next is sculpture. Sculpture now means objects or ideals made of stones, wood, clay. Okay? Sculpture. They are known as sculpture. The next is pots and then coins. These all come under material sources because they are made of a certain material. So they are come under material sources. Next we'll move to return sources. Now return sources means those which are in the form of written, only which are written. Written texts, they are used by historians to construct ancient, medieval and modern history. For example, inscription. Inscription means, students, words that are written or cut on something. Now you must have seen inscription on your coins also. Something is inscribed on coins, on the stone. Carvings are being done. They are called as inscription. And the other things are copper plates, books, manuscripts also are written with hand, no? So these all things are written on the copper plates. Carvings are being done on the hand. So all these are written sources of history. Let's move to the next, that is oral sources. Now what is oral sources? Oral sources are those which can be spoken, are told and passed from one generation to other. Now one generation to other means what? See, you are one generation, your parents are one generation, your grandparents are one generation, right? That is from one generation to other. Now for example, what are the oral sources? Example, they are poadas, epics, and fables. Now, poadas are poems which are sung in Marathi. Epics are stories like from Mahabharata and Ramayana, as you can see in the second picture. And fables. Fables are also stories which are told by your grandparents. You know, your parents or your grandparents tell you old your stories or about their stories, right? They are called as fables. They are short stories. Let's move to the next. Now, with the help of tested evidence, past events are put in a proper sequence and a historical account is written. Means all the proofs and past events are arranged properly and the history is written. Okay. The next as your homework is you have to find the answers of these questions. First is the science that tries to understand past events is called dash. Second one is history is not written solely on the basis of dash. And fourth is what is material sources. That's all for now. We will learn more about this lesson in the next video. Thank you for listening, children. Goodbye. Take care.